The world does not respect the free man. It consumes him. If you are accessible, you are inventory. If you are always available, you are taken for granted. There is a ruthless economic law that governs human relationships, the law of supply and demand. When the supply of you is high, when you are always there, always replying, always nodding to keep the peace, the demand for you hits zero. You become oxygen, essential but free, and no one pays for air until they are choking. Niccolo Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He warned that a prince who is too generous, too open, and too familiar is eventually despised. He is seen as weak, common, and common things are discarded. You have been taught that if you give more, you will get more. That is a lie. That is slave morality, not the strategy of kings. The truth is darker. Humans only value what they fear losing. To reclaim your power, you must stop being free. You must become a luxury good in a world of cheap commodities. But how do you price a human soul? We are going to deconstruct the psychology of value. By the end of this, you will understand why being difficult is a virtue, and why being expensive is the only way to be truly free. First, admit that you are on sale, and it is time to close the store. Consider the paradox of value. Adam Smith asked why water, essential for life, is free, while diamonds, largely useless, are expensive. The answer is scarcity. Water is abundant, so it is wasted. Diamonds are rare, requiring labor and risk to extract, so they are worshipped. Look at your life. Are you water or a diamond? The nice guy, the reliable friend who never says no, is water. He is essential to the ecosystem of others, but because he flows freely, they flush him. They cancel plans last minute because they know he won't get mad. They underpay him because they know he won't negotiate. He thinks he is being good. In reality, he is flooding the market with his presence. Think back to environments where your contributions were invisible until you were gone. To become expensive, you must become a diamond. This means becoming useless to those who cannot afford you. It requires killing the part of you that craves immediate validation. You must be willing to be called distant. When you are expensive, you signal that you can afford to waste other people's approval. Start today. Audit your availability. How quickly do you text back? Every instant reply is a coupon you are handing out. Stop it. Create a drought. Let them thirst. When you withdraw your supply, they panic. They suddenly realize your value. Be the drought. Walk past a luxury boutique like Hermes. You see a line, a bouncer, barriers. Now walk past a Walmart. The doors slide open. Everyone is welcome. Which one demands your respect? We value things that resist us. This is effort justification. If we work for something, our brain assumes it is valuable. You have been living with automatic doors, letting anyone into your mental space. You are a Walmart. You need to install a velvet rope. Introduce friction. In federal investigations, agents like Lydia Hoffman operate on a strict need-to-know basis. This is not rudeness. It is operational security. Your default setting must become no unless given a reason to say yes. When asked for a favor, the answer is silence. Then maybe. Then, only if it aligns with your mission, yes. This hesitation signals that your time is accounted for. Never let someone enter your inner circle without testing them. Watch them. Do they gossip? Then they will gossip about you. Keep the rope up. Make them wait. Make them prove their intent. You will lose the cheap ones, the parasites. But high-value players will respect the rope. Machiavelli advised that a prince should be slow to believe and to move. Let them wait in line. The anxiety of, will he accept me, creates value. You are not being mean. You are curating your existence. Information is power, and inflation kills it. The more you talk, the less your words are worth. The free man is an open book, explaining his strategies and venting frustrations to neighbors. He inflates his own currency. To be expensive, you must become a vault. Machiavelli wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience who you really are." Remember the fight for your mother, Helen Harrison, when her dementia diagnosis was revealed as a fabrication. Every word spoken prematurely could have been twisted. Narrative sovereignty is guarded, not given. Practice the 80-20 rule. Let them speak 80% of the time. When you speak, do not explain. Declare. It's time for a change. End of sentence. Justification is the language of the subordinate. When you withhold details, people fill in the blanks, projecting their own fantasies onto you. You become a puzzle they cannot solve. Charismatic people throughout history possessed a quality of remote distance. That distance is the price tag. Stop oversharing. Stop posting emotional breakdowns. Silence creates a vacuum, and in that vacuum, your value rises. When the quiet man finally speaks, the room goes silent. Be the voice that costs something to hear. Now we go deeper. The most expensive thing you own is your emotional reaction. Low-value people are reactive. They are vending machines. Push a button, get a reaction. They have no internal sovereignty. To be expensive is to be non-reactive, to possess what the Stoics called apatheia, freedom from suffering. It costs enormous energy to control your biology. When someone disrespects you, your brain screams, attack. Overriding that requires a soul that has conquered itself. Reflect on the emotional manipulation you faced or the grief of losing Catherine. Reacting with anger would have been the cheap response. Maintaining principled detachment was the only way to protect your heart. When you do not react to an insult, you subvert the power dynamic. The insulter wants a reaction. Deny them the transaction. Imagine a negotiation. One man sweats and talks fast. The other leans back, breathing slowly. Who has the power? The calm man. Machiavelli knew that a prince who loses his temper loses his authority. Anger is a confession of weakness. Treat your emotions like gold bars in a vault. If someone tries to provoke you, look at them with curiosity. Interesting behavior, then walk away. This detachment is terrifying to manipulators. They rely on your emotional debt. Cancel the debt. Become a ghost to their drama. When you are emotionally expensive, people invest energy to understand you, making you their most valuable asset. The ultimate sign of a luxury good is that it doesn't need you to buy it. Ferrari does not beg you to drive their cars. The free man is needy. He needs the job, the partner, the invite. Neediness is the death of negotiation. To be expensive, cultivate the power of walking away. Build a life where you do not need any specific person to be whole. Machiavelli said a prince should rely on his own arms. If your stability depends on one boss, you are a slave. Diversify your power. Build rare skills like the 40 years spent designing infrastructure. Build a wide network like the allies in the Helen Harrison Elder Protection Fund. When you know you can walk away from any table, you become dangerous. You state terms. Meet it or I walk. Recall being fired from Ares MedTech without equity. It felt like a loss, but it was a display of power. You walked away because the price offered was your integrity. The free man stays in bad relationships out of fear. The expensive man leaves because his solitude is worth more. This willingness to destroy the deal makes the deal possible. It signals I am not desperate, I am selecting. Be the cat on the high wall. Let them come to you. There is a rhythm to power. It is a pulse, not a steady hum. The free man is a flat line. The expensive man is a heartbeat, present, then gone. Robert Greene outlines this: use absence to increase respect. Once you establish value, withdraw. Create a vacuum. Human imagination is more powerful than reality. When you are present, people see your flaws. When you are absent, you become an idea, and ideas are flawless. People fill the silence with fantasies. He must be in high demand. You spike your price by reducing supply. This requires nerves of steel. Your insecurity will scream, "What if they forget me?" Let them try. If they find someone else, you were just a placeholder. Usually, they will chase. Think of the artist who disappears for a year. When the album drops, the world stops. Think of the employee who leaves exactly at 5 o'clock. When he speaks, the boss listens. Use this strategically. Pull back with purpose. Get obsessed with a project. Let texts sit. You are recalibrating the exchange rate, reminding them that your presence is a privilege. A star always in the sky is ignored. A comet appearing once every 100 years is an event. Be say, the comet. To be expensive, you must be willing to be misunderstood. You must walk alone. The herd is free and safe. The tiger is solitary and expensive. When you apply these laws, people will react. Some will call you selfish. Some will leave. Let them. This is the sifting process. You are sifting sand to find gold. The free man tries to hold the sand, terrified of the empty hand. The expensive man knows the empty hand is ready to hold gold. Be comfortable with the void. In that silence, you build your empire. You build a reputation like a fortress. Stone by stone, no by no. Once built, it stands for a lifetime. People will hear about you before they meet you. They will know you are not easy, not cheap, but worth it. The goal is not to be liked by everyone, but valued by the few who matter. Be the prize that must be won. You have a choice today. Go back to being free. It is easy. Be the nice guy. Give your pieces away until nothing is left. You will be popular, used, and forgotten. Or close the store. Change the price tag. Start saying no. It will be hard and lonely at first, but you will never be cheap again. You will see a person of substance in the mirror, someone who commands their environment. Think of your daughter Emma navigating a complex world. Think of your mother Helen's legacy. What example do you set? Does love mean surrender, or does integrity mean standing firm? The world is a marketplace. Stop giving out samples. Make them pay the full price. You are the only thing you have, and once spent, you cannot be bought back. Be rare. Be difficult. Be unbreakable. This path is not for everyone. The algorithm suppresses the most powerful information, but those insights exist for those willing to dig deeper. If you are still here, you are ready to stop being water and start being a diamond. Subscribe if you haven't. But if you want to step into the architect level of your life, join the ranks of those who document everything and stand alone if they must. Most won't. That's the point. This is Obsydra. Document everything. Stand alone if you must, but never ever be free for those who wish to consume you.